Hey everyone, welcome to Get Loose, Geekout. Don't forget to like and subscribe as we chew through our topic of the week every week, 3 days a week. So join me, James, Mike and our good friend Alan as we chew through our chosen geeky topic of the week. Don't forget also to find our main podcast, and you can see where you can find it right here. Welcome to our final episode this week of Room 101. You've had Alan's, you've had very animated Mike's, so now it's time for mine. First on my list, leggings. Now, not all leggings, just people that shouldn't be fucking wearing leggings, right? And I'm not body shaming anybody because, you know, I'm a big lad, but I don't go around wearing see-through leggings. Nobody needs to see up my arsehole. Do you know what I mean? So it's not all leggings. Don't get me wrong. Some people look great in leggings, but other people should have friends enough around them to be able to say to them, don't wear them, love. You look like a fucking sausage stuffed in a pair of leggings.
So are you saying that you're willing to lose leggings as a whole rather than saying half of the female nation should not be wearing leggings?
To be fair, it's not necessarily all about who's wearing them. It can be the quality of the leggings, because I think the expression is they're a little sheer.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to classify it and say, well, anybody over 10 stone can't wear leggings.
No, because that's ridiculous.
It's a bit harsh. Certain people can pull them off, and it's not necessarily on weight. It's, you know, on body shape and on quality. So I'd rather lose the lot.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really wear leggings, so if you want to get rid of it, I'm down with that.
But yeah, if you're going to, just, you know, maybe have somebody that you run it past first. Can I wear it? Yeah, that's fine. Excellent. Good start. My next one was almost touched upon by Mike, and it is coffee related, but it's more the coffee culture. Because I'm old enough to remember a time where we didn't have to have a cup of coffee surgically attached to our hand. And it baffles me, to use one of Mike's favourite phrases, it absolutely fucking baffles me why, in this day and age where a lot of people are pleading that they haven't got any money, that they can go and spend £3.50 on a fucking cup of coffee and have more than one of them a day.
Yeah.
It boggles my fucking mind. Oh, I can't believe it. He goes to the pub every night and has 2 or 3 pints. He's spending less than your fucking cup of coffee, love. And it absolutely boggles my mind. And people who get so upset about it when they can't have their bloody latte in the morning. It's like, have a cup of coffee before you leave the house.
Yeah.
You know, you're not that busy that you haven't got time to make yourself a cup of coffee.
I gotta say, coffee made at home is nowhere near as good as coffee bought.
If you got yourself a decent coffee machine, it would be.
Yeah, but have you seen
that then? Yeah, and how much does 200 cups of coffee cost you?
Yeah, but that's in a small sort of outgoing, broken down in a period of time, whereas a coffee machine, generally speaking, unless you're going to buy it on credit, you know...
Well, buy it on a credit card and pay it off. Every time you have a cup, pay £3 off it.
Not be a bad idea, to be fair.
There you go. So yeah, coffee culture as a whole, and I think it links into what Mike was saying in his as well. All that goes in with it. It's just, we get ridiculous about coffee.
Because it's a drug, isn't it?
Well, yes, but...
addicted to it.
Yeah, but it's always been there. It's not like it's new.
Yeah.
It's just people change their priorities on what money is spent on.
Yeah, I don't need to think about this. I'm in with it. Put it in the bin.
So, coffee it's not just drinking coffee anymore for the taste of coffee or even to keep yourself awake. It's almost fashionable, isn't it?
Exactly, and that's the bit I hate.
That's the bit you hate.
Yeah.
Then I'm on board with that because I think
Yes!
it's ridiculous.
Get it in. And you can be slightly vindicated, Mike, because coffee of some sort has now gone into Room 101. So I feel good about it.
Yes, I do. Can I just pick up on something that we didn't pick up on with the coffee culture? Is why is it fashionable to be sitting in a Starbucks or Costa or Cafe Nero, having one of your ridiculous coffees on your laptop, writing your screenplay? Like, that just seems ridiculous. Like, I've come here to write my screenplay, and everyone must fucking know about it. Like, no,
Because I'm a poor writer.
This is it. Just yeah. Can we include that with the coffee culture? Because that's just stupid.
It's all in the bin, mate. It's gone.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah, that's fine.
My third and final one is remakes. I think that there's enough original content out there that we don't just constantly need to recycle everything all the time. Sequels, fine. Remakes, no, not always needed. Especially when it's not been that long sometimes since the last one.
Spider-Man.
Well,
Can't
yeah.
agree with that. I like the new series, like remakes of Spider-Man. Not that I hate the Tobey Maguire ones. The Andrew Garfield ones were poor.
I think though that's slightly muddied because it was a studio issues that made it that way, wasn't it? Because Marvel didn't have control and all that. So I think push Spider-Man to one side, but generally I think that Hollywood's just recycling material. And it's unnecessary. When we spoke about books the other day on the main podcast, certainly some of my choices there are crying out to be made into either a movie or TV show, but yet they still keep remaking stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't think it's necessary, and I think it's just a bit ridiculous.
So, like, I think you look at Disney these days, like back in the 90s and 80s, like they were making incredible original animated stuff, and now they're just converting all of that stuff into live action.
Yeah.
And you're like, where's the originality that you had, 30 years ago?
It's like they're ashamed of it. Like, I've got no need. I don't need to see a live action Lion King.
No.
Poor Mufasa. I love that film, and so what? It's an animated film. I don't care. So in a way, I praise them for not making like a remake of Mary Poppins. They made Mary Poppins Returns. Fine with that. Just some stuff just needs to be left alone. If it's like a 50-year-old film, then yeah, possibly you've got something new you can add. The effects have come on that much that it can be done. But for the rest of it, just leave it alone. Doesn't need it. And we've touched on this before about when different countries take stuff that's specific to a country and remake it, like The Office. It doesn't. I mean, it's become its own entity and very different. But initially, a lot of people doesn't match up.
Mm-hmm.
But if they weren't, because they strayed away from it in the end, they could have just done an original series, and it could have been like The Office without being The Office. Like when they remade Shameless, I watched the first episode and it just freaked me out.
Because it was everything that was pretty much the first season of the UK Shameless, but one episode. Yeah. No, I agree.
With the American Office as well, is that they jammed like 3 or 4 episodes, basically the first series, into the first episode.
Like must have it, need it now. And sometimes stuff should just be left alone. So.
No, I agree. Yeah. Put it in there.
I'm happy with that.
Put it in there.
Woo! Success!
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. Just no one asked for the Ghostbusters all-female remake. No one in the world asked for that. The sequel that's coming, Afterlife, everyone was crying for that.
Yeah, and they were crying out for it 20 years ago.
Yeah. But,
it's just taken that long. But, I'm happy with that. I'm chuffed with that. Let us know in the comments if you've got anything that you think should go in room 101, or if you think that any of our choices over this week have been absolutely ridiculous. So if you like watching the American Office wearing leggings, drinking coffee, then I'm guessing I'm going to get some hate.
No. Yeah, no,
cool.
I like that. I agree with all
what
that.
have we got coming up next week, Mike?
Next week, we actually start our Lord of the Rings month.
Dun, 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 dun. We're going deep diving into Lord of the Rings. It is much loved subject matter to me. I'm not going to tell you that I am like the god of all knowledge on Lord of the Rings, but I know a bit about it, and I love it dearly. So, and I think you two are pretty similar, aren't you? You don't claim to have read the Silmarillion backwards, but you know similar lore.
Yeah, I mean, I've read, tried to read the books, struggled with the books. I'm actually reading The Hobbit at the moment, and that's we'll talk about it next.
We will, but like I said, try and listen to the radio play before we start that one, and then that will help you definitely. So yeah, if you like Lord of the Rings, or you've not experienced Lord of the Rings and want to know a bit about it, come and see us next week. Say cheerio, chaps.
Cheerio, chaps.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and find the main show, Get Loose, with Mike and myself, right here.